Hello everyone, this is here Firdous Mir, and today I will be discussing a simple topic in mathematics for class 10th, that is trigonometry. On this channel I will be discussing basic to advanced chemistry concepts, and uh, as this is my first video I have chosen a simple topic for class 10th, that is I mentioned trigonometry. In this chapter, what we actually study, as the word itself suggests, trigonometry itself suggests that we have to study the relation between angles and sides of a right angular triangle. Because tri means three, and we have metry means the measurement. We have to measure. We have to do the measurement of angles and sides, and look at the relations between the angles and sides. First, we will understand, I will draw here a right angular triangle. This is a right angular triangle. I will name it ABC. This angle you must be familiar with. This is the right angle which has value 90 degree. And the other two angles here in this right angular triangle are acute angles. Acute angles. Acute means that the angle A and angle C, the domain, first we will understand the domain of acute angle. The domain of acute angle is from 0 degree to 90 degree. That means any angle which is below 90 degree, let's say 89 degree, will be called as acute angle. And the angle which lies above 0, or else I will say 3 degree angle, it's also acute angle. And these two angles are acute. They have to be acute because in order to satisfy the angle sum property here, in order to validate the angle sum property here, they should be acute. That means, first, what is angle sum property? The sum of angles of a triangle are 180 degree. That means angle A plus angle C plus angle B, which is here 90 degree, their sum will be 180 degree. Okay, that means angle A plus angle C plus angle B here is 90 degree equal to 180 degree. All right. Doing here a basic mathematics, that is transposing this 90 degree. Angle A plus angle C will be equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree. Okay. Angle A plus angle C equal to 90 degree. That means the sum of the angles of angle A plus angle C here is 90 degree. That means both should be acute, because if I will see them individually, that angle A will be equal to 90 degree minus angle C, because it was here plus, and after transposing it will get minus angle C. That means what this relation actually manifests is that the angle A is less than 90. So as with angle C is also less than 90. These both angles are 90 degree. Okay, below 90 degrees, sorry. Let me just draw here a triangle again to elucidate it in better way. Naming it as A, B, C. This is 90 degree. Naming of angles, because like we use different types of naming. Like there are multiple types of naming angles. I will tell you, uh, there are actually three. I will tell you how to name an angle. Here, this angle, we can call it angle A, or I can call it BAC, angle BAC, or else I can call it angle CAB. While naming an angle, you should keep it in mind, as this angle was on the spot of A, that's why I called it angle A. Also, I used here angle BAC. That means whichever angle you have to name, keep that angle, keep that spot in middle, and rest will follow the middle. Same is the case with here. I have mentioned angle CAB because I was naming here angle A, which is present here in middle. You have to make sure which angle you are naming, you have to keep that in middle, and rest will follow the same similar order. When we study about the right angle triangle, first, as it was all about the angles, now I will talk about the sides. There are three sides in a right angle triangle. In this triangle, the three sides are, one side is AC and another one is BC or AB and AB. There are three sides. The three sides, AC is inclined one. Inclined one. The inclined one will be always called as hypotenuse. And the other two sides are base and perpendicular. But we don't know exactly which side is base and which side is perpendicular. In order to know about that, which side is actually base or which side is actually perpendicular, we have to see the respective acute angle. To which acute angle you are focusing, and that will give you the information regarding the base and perpendicular. Let's say I'm here choosing an angle A. That means right now I'm focusing on the angle A. That means this is the angle A. The opposite side of the angle A will be always perpendicular. That means in this case, BC will become as a perpendicular. And if my angle of interest was angle C, the opposite side is obviously this AB. That means in this case, side AB will become as a perpendicular. It's not like AB is the triangle is retaining on the side AB, so we call it base. It's not always true, but we have to use the uh, trigonometry property where we can discuss, where we can actually relate which side is actually perpendicular or base. That means the theta or angle of interest, which will be mentioned, which will be given by the question, is the angle between hypotenuse and this. This theta will be always an angle between hypotenuse and base. This is the simpler formula you have to keep in your mind while labeling the angles as respective sides. That means it's 90-degree, calling it as ABC. If angle of interest is this, it is always hypotenuse, the inclined one is always hypotenuse. This will become as base. As I mentioned above, the theta or the angle of interest will be always an angle between hypotenuse and base. If our angle of interest will change, let's see. In our first case, angle of interest was angle A. At that time, hypotenuse was constant and this side became here base. But when angle of interest is over angle C, that means what I mentioned, the angle of interest will be always an angle between hypotenuse and base. This side is then hypotenuse and this will act as base. And this side will act as perpendicular in that case. Because you have to keep this in your mind because in our later lectures we will be studying about the trigonometric ratios, and there comes the utility of this concept. Ratios, there comes the utility actually. So what I mentioned here, the theta or the angle of interest will be the angle between the hypotenuse and base always. It will change when you will shift your angle of interest. As in this case, angle A was angle of interest, this side became base here, and this was hypotenuse as usual. And as it was inclined, when I shifted my angle of interest from angle A to angle C, this side became here base and this was hypotenuse. That means the angle of interest to which you people were you students will be dealing in our questions, because there will be mentioned like about the angle of interest where you have to focus. The angle of interest will be always an angle between hypotenuse and base. Thank you for, as it was my first video about trigonometry, and in